Okay, welcome to Empowerment Through Intuition. Tonight's topic is colors, how they can empower us and assist us and give us messages. Um, I'm Nora, two-time best-selling author on intuition, international speaker. I love this subject. And
Hi, I'm Chris from Conversations with Chris, and I'm a psychic and a medium, a healer and a minister. And I do a lot of fun things with colors. And I can tell you how they can heal you, how you can work with them. And as you see, Nora's got her backdrop on my colors. Aren't they pretty? That's my
aren't they
favorite
cute?
color,
Aren't they
my
nice? Took me a
periwinkle.
while to get her color right, but I got it. Conversations with Chris. Whoops, wrong side. Conversations with Chris. Email my website, her website. Jump on in there and learn a lot more about us and a lot more services that we provide. We're just really happy that we're all together again tonight. And we're going to
And
jump right in.
hold on, don't forget our tissues coming up. Tissue shortage in September 22nd, Atlantic City.
Chris, we forgot to pick a color. Quick, text me
Oh,
one.
I don't have my phone on me.
All right, well, you guys are just going to have to trust me. I got the color in my head.
All right, you got the color.
I got the color. I got the color. So, yeah, there are a few tickets left. They are going well. So, anybody interested in the tissue shortage show, which is basically Chris and I talking to all your dead friends and family. You know, the last show was done in Philadelphia and it was so moving. We joke like, oh, yeah, we're going to talk to the dead. Uh, but it's such, because it is fun to us, but it's such a healing for people. And it's a beautiful process and it's wonderful to see. I'm so grateful that I get to actually be a participant and make a difference for people like this. Chris has been doing it forever and a day. So, yeah, join us, guys. You'll
Well, you got to tell them why we call it tissue
Oh
shortage.
yeah, right. We call it a tissue shortage because you were going to run out of tissues. We ran out of tissues in the Philly show. We're going to run out of tissues in this show, and
No, we're
a couple
not, because
times we've
I'm
done it
going to
before.
BJ's. I'm getting a super pack, man.
Chris and I have done these before, not often. Actually, the fact that we did two in 1 year is really unusual, but we do usually run out of tissues. It is kind of funny, so that's why we called it the tissue shortage.
And you
So,
guys can all come and watch your friends and all the rest of the people that joining us cry their eyes out. You guys aren't the only ones I make cry. You come along and you watch everybody else get slammed because I make them cry and then Nora makes them hysterical. And then
well,
she tells me to move on to the next person while she's cleaning up the mess she made.
I don't make a mess. I'm just telling people what their family members are saying. It is not my fault that it comes out like a hammer. And Chris is mushy. Don't kid yourself. Chris is not all mushy mushy, nice nice. So anyway, before the end of the show, we're going to give you an opportunity to tell me what color is the color that we are have set for tonight. And whoever gets that color correct wins a ticket to the show. If you are not close by and you win, you can give that ticket to somebody else who's close by if you'd like. Anyway, let's jump into our subject. Anybody on Facebook, guys, welcome. Feel free to jump on in here and talk to us. We have a lot of people here already. Diane, Marguerite, Melissa, Sharon, Tina, Aaron. Hope you're doing well, sweetheart. So start throwing up those questions. And I'm going to start with, you guys know how I love the cabal. And
Oh,
ooh,
oh
I know
yeah,
those
here
of
we
you guys who've
go.
been following us for a while know that I love that emanation stuff, how it comes from the great I am and it moves into wisdom and understanding. Well, all those angels and all those emanations have colors that come with them too. So when Chris is explaining different healings and different angels using different things, I'll throw in what I know. I don't know as much as Chris on this subject, but I do know I love this old stuff. So
She just gets all happy about the old stuff.
I do. I love the old stuff. Chris, they're happy tears. Mary Lou over on Facebook says that they're happy tears when people cry at the show. Yeah, they are happy tears.
Hmm.
They really are. I mean, it's not like we make people cry because they're just upset with us.
Now we let them release, and that's what they're there for.
Yeah, it really is a nice release.
We just do a shotgun version. We don't have a lot of time, and 3 hours sounds like a lot of time, but when there's 100 people to read or 50 people to read, it's just like bam, 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 bam. You got to go fast. So it's like Nora will tap me and say, you got to move on to the next one. Oh, okay.
But
When
we
I take
promise
1 minute to look at them, I'm going, you want me to talk to all those spirits? Okay. Then I look at my spirit board and I'm like, la, 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 la. So I'm not even watching the person.
she never looks. It's so funny because
And
she's
Nora's like,
reading everything.
Chris. I'm like, huh?
Next one.
Next
Yeah.
what?
But
Oh, over here. She'll point to the next one.
it's rapid fire, which makes it really exciting. However, I promise you, it's very thorough. We are really blessed with the angels telling Chris, and the way I pick up the intuition is right to the core. That's why Chris jokes. She says, "Yeah, you just hammer them." The most significant, important messages that you are looking for do come across, or that you need. You might not be looking for, but that you need. All right, Aaron, I finally got an x-ray today after a month of having a broken leg. And did they confirm it was broken, or are you faking it?
That was me, Nora.
No, I'm sure it's broken. By the way, Aaron, you look so nice in those pictures you've been posting. I think you looked relaxed, like you're enjoying this hospital stay. Might as well take advantage of the time off. So, Chris, out of all the colors, what would you say is a, it's a most powerful one that would, uh, if you wanted to focus on a color to raise your spiritual vibration, what would you say?
Gold, like a golden champagne color,
Why?
because that's the color of the Holy Spirit. And the Holy Spirit is one of the most powerful spiritual vibrations you can reach to.
Mm-hmm.
It represents the Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost all in one. And God is the white, like you burn your eyes looking into the sun kind of white. And I always sprinkle the prettiest diamonds I can imagine inside his white. So he sparkles and throws off rainbows. And
I know.
Erin says she's drugged and she's supposed to look like that. I'm over here talking about rainbows, and all of a sudden I see Erin's little posting there about her and her drugs, her happy drugs.
She's that comic relief.
So I would pick the Holy Spirit color because that brings you the closest to God the fastest. And then the white behind it. And when I do meditations with my clients, sometimes if they're in a real bad place, I just start to help them swirl the colors. And I just tell them what to imagine and how to do it. And some of my personal emotional support clients I work with like that. Some of my corporate clients, when they're up to their asses in alligators, I'm like, okay, you got to take a minute and we got to breathe, because you're not going to get anywhere fighting your own self at this point. And they're like, wow, I didn't realize how tight I couldn't even like take a deep breath. And once you get them to fill themselves and clear their channel with the colors, it's moving. And when you need to get in touch with God and let your heart take a break and get that breather, like I'll sprinkle in different colors. I'll start with the Holy Spirit and then move to God's color and then maybe to pink for healing for the heart. And you know, I like my raspberry color because it makes me look alive. And my periwinkle color is Nora's background. That's my other favorite color. It's a mix between blue and purple.
So why is it that, what is powerful about that periwinkle?
The periwinkle is the crown chakra mixed with the third eye. And it has blue for the sky.
So that's here, guys, and here.
And it mixes them together.
Yeah.
So if you had to do a Tootsie Roll, that's the color you're getting. And you can add a little bit of the Holy Mother with that, because she's got a little bit more blue in her and a little red, but mostly blue we use for her.
In the mornings this week, we've been doing meditations on colors, and I do it a little bit differently than what you're saying with the swirling. I actually have us rise our spirits slightly up out of ourselves and to just see the color, kind of grab a handful of it and just pull the whole thing down into ourselves. And then
Well, that
just
sounds
sit.
like fun too.
It is. It really is nice. And then we kind of just sit in the vibration of that color. And should your mind drift in those few minutes, you just kind of go back to the name of the color and that vibrational feel. And I tell you, some of them, like yellow, just took me away. Took me away. Why do you think yellow is? I mean, I know that from what we were discussing before the show, yellow is Gabriel with foundation and bonding. But what makes yellow such a powerful vibration?
Because it's also conscious thought patterns. And it also drives what you think about things in reality, what you see. And for you, you're always processing in your mind.
Yeah, so true.
So that's why they took off with you. They're like, oh, she's going to let us in. Whoosh. We're going swimming with this one, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, that's too funny. Thank
That's
you.
why if I pick any one color and I get too focused on it, I'm like, the kids are like, what are you doing, Mom? That doesn't look so good over there. I'm like, hi, I'm fine. They're like, yeah, I don't think so, Mom. What kind of crystals you got? What are you doing?
It's a sin that our kids think we get high, but they understand it's not high with any kind of drugs. I
Oh,
like
no.
I like what Aaron put. She just realized she told God she needed a break. I think he misunderstood me.
So what's turquoise? It's
What's
the
turquoise?
voice. It's the chakra, the voice. And it's speaking your truth and speaking what you know is to be true versus what other people want you to speak.
Ooh, that's tough. So your voice is where the will center is, guys, and this is
Yes, it
your
is.
will. And this is the hardest center to overcome spiritually because you're surrendering that will to God's will. And we don't always want to do that. I'm
Oh,
a
yeah,
prime
free will.
example.
Everybody's always screaming at me about free will. I'm like, I didn't make it up. Talk
It's
to the
just,
boss. He
it's
made it up.
exactly what it
I'm
is.
just telling you, we all got it. It was a gift. And people are like, but it's not following the timeline. I'm like, not a lot I can do about it. I can only tell you what's going on around that, why you're off schedule. And they're like, I'm in a funk. I'm like, okay, you can be in a funk. It's allowed.
So, anybody have any specific questions? If you've had a dream or you keep seeing a certain color, now's a really great time to find out what that message might be,
Okay.
because we'll tap into more than just what the color is. We'll let you know if there's something more behind it. Go ahead, Chris. You were saying?
I want to also teach everybody when they get depressed and you get into a funk, you're also
Yeah.
creating gray energy. Gray energy will attract gray energy. And it's one of the most powerful attractions other than black energy. And black is the absence of color. And it's like a void. You can make it bigger and bigger and bigger. And I tell people that wear only black, there's a problem because you're only reflecting what you see. And you're allowing yourself to be more of a mirror for everybody else's yuck than you are to be a mirror of what you want to be. People are like, oh, I don't really get that. But I said, you think you look better in black. And in some occasions you do. But when you wear black every day of the week, it doesn't work out so well in your favor.
A little heavy.
Break it up. Use a
Definitely.
scarf, use another color to accent, anything you can think of, especially if it's a uniform.
Oh, yeah. Okay, let's see. Somebody popped up a question. Marguerite, my daughter wants to ask what the color pink means to her. She's in school and is feeling stressed. Is there a correlation? Her name is Emily.
Yeah, pink is for love. And when you want people to love you.
And if you look at the emanations that we talked about before, pink is the mercy, love, and kindness. The Zadkiel is the angel. So there is, yeah, loving kindness. So let's see.
And pink rose quartz is the loving kindness stone.
I'm
So,
getting that it's that she is homesick or missing home. Now I don't know if she's away at school, but when she's in school, she's like has a separation type, almost not a separation anxiety, a real sadness that she's missing home.
well, it's
So
the safety too. The safety factor. I don't think she feels safe in school all the time. Almost like the group that's around her is very judgmental, and she's tired of always having to be what they expect her to be. She just wants to be her. And she wants them to like her for who she is, and she doesn't want to have to be like them.
yeah,
She'll be all right. Give her a piece of rose quartz, stick it in her bra.
she's in high school and lives at home. Okay, so when she's in school, this is what she's feeling like. And what Chris says really lines up then, because we all know what it's like in high school with the trying to fit in. So that's good. That's good. But she has a lot of kindness and softness in herself. And that is seen as weak in the community, in the group that's around her all the time. So, what is really a very powerful, strong thing to have mercy, to have kindness, takes a lot of strength. Our society sees that as weak, especially our teenagers.
And you can use a piece of obsidian to repel negativity and to help use protection. And teach her the St. Michael prayer,
Oh, definitely.
because she can have St. Michael's guys surround her and buffet her. And then Gabriel's Archangel Gabriel, he's the messenger of the lot, and he handles speaking. So she can be heard as stronger, tougher, more resilient when she speaks without feeling like she's stepping on anybody's toes. Just ask him, Archangel Gabriel, will you please help me make sure they understand I'm not a weakling, but I'm not putting up with their crap either.
Right.
That's what I tell my daughter to do. And she's like, I got this idea. And then I said XYZ, and I'm like,
She calls upon her grandfather, another friend, Thomas, and Archangel. Ex, I'm killing it again.
Ezekiel.
Ezekiel. Um, that is
As Ezekiel is the teacher, and he's the one for learning, and he loves to go to school.
oh,
And he'll
that's
carry her
great.
books for her if she asks him to.
Well, that's wonderful that she knows to pray to them and to ask for their assistance. That's so important. I mean, you're doing an awesome job, an awesome job. There was something about Ezekiel too that I wanted to share, and I can't find it.
Aw, what a shame.
Oh,
Your
well, what do you want from
Kabbalah's
me?
falling apart.
My Kabbalah's falling apart. What are you gonna do? It sounds like my cake is dropping or something, you know? Oh, I hope that's helpful, honey. And you're doing an awesome job. The fact that you're teaching your daughter and she already goes to prayer. I am jumping back and forth with Facebook. That's why my head looks like it's a tennis court. So just feel free to jump in there and give us, if you're on Facebook and you want to ask us questions, there is a link to hop on to the Zoom, or you could throw your question in there and we'll do our best to grab it from that end too. So I wanted to talk a little bit about Archangel Gabriel and his color, which is the copper and the aqua, plus the white and the yellow. Um, the white and the yellow I get from what you previously said about the white being so close to God, the yellow being the a structure. What is copper? What would that represent?
Copper is the metal element of Earth. It's supposed to represent the grounding factor, and that Gabriel's very grounded and he can help you with elements as well, because a lot of people have a problem focusing on all the element and aspects that he offers, because he's not just the speaker, and he's more of like, he fantails with Ezekiel as a teacher, but he talks about messages of true self and of conscious thought. That's why you got the yellow in there. And about when is it enough of me and when do I go to God with it? And that's why you have the bright white in there for him. And he's very, very nonplussed when he talks. He's always very loving, but Gabriel's like, that goes to the boss. That's not a me question, that's a him question. And we call God the boss because that's just, the kids got me trained to say, they're not the boss of me. And I'm like, well, he's the boss of me. So God's the boss. And the kids are like, really, Mom? I'm like, really? Who else can you go to but the boss? I said, Grandma's gone. And they're like, not really. Not in this house. Did you not notice? She's everywhere.
Which reminds me, she stopped by today and I have to give you a message. I apologize. I forgot.
Okay.
Yeah. Which I didn't understand why, because it's like, for crying out loud, she hears you all the time. Why are you bothering me?
Probably because I was in Barbara Land today and I didn't want to hear a message.
You didn't want to hear anything.
I like tuned out.
She's been keeping her angels busy in the nursing home. You're not in a nursing home. You're in a rehab center. A rehabilitation, not rehab as in drugs and alcohol. She broke her knee, guys. So let's keep Erin in our prayers so that she keeps getting stronger. So out of this one, I found really amazing. Raziel, who was the angel in the wisdom, under wisdom, has no single color. He's all the colors. I found that really interesting. What can you share about him or about that fact?
Well, I work with a lot of children that are on the spectrum, and they'll tell you, and some very advanced children that aren't on the spectrum, and they'll tell you very clearly what colors the bowling pins are. Some will call them angels, some will just call them bowling pins. And I have one little fella we send bowling pins back and forth to Guatemala. And he'll have his mommy text me, I think Miss Chris needs this one. And I say, thank you. And I'm sending you this one. Do you know why? And we go back and forth. And this is how I teach him to be A, more interactive because of his disability, and B, to use the angels to teach him how to express himself. And the other young man is just like off the charts, sees everything and hears everything like you and I do. Probably even a little bit more than we do at some times, but he misinterprets some of the questions and some of the answers. And he calls them the rainbow people. And I said to him, okay, so you've got the rainbow people. And he goes, I want to know why they're rainbow. He goes, this one's yellow, that one's green, this one's red. I'm like, okay, do you know why they're rainbow? And he goes, that's what I'm asking you, lady. I'm like, okay, Mr. 5-year-old, sit your butt down and I'll give you a little class on the rainbow people. And when I asked the angels, how is the simplest term to put it in why you guys are rainbows? And they said wisdom and experience. They put forth the colors of the rainbow because they are like a prism of God's love. And God's love is like the whole rainbow. And sometimes you'll hear me talk about some people that know unconditional love, and they love all the rainbow colors. Some people don't have that ability, and they only love like red and orange because that's all they can understand. And people they look at me and they go, what do you mean? I said, they don't know unconditional love. They only know they get this far and then they feel like they're out of juice and they don't know how to give you anymore, but they want to. And they're like, well, do you train them? I'm like, well, it's kind of like a free will thing. They either learn how to do it or they don't. I can't quite train them to love. So it's a nurturing ability. And the rainbow people, they just love without any reason. There's no ifs, ands, or whys. It just comes naturally to them. And when you start feeling like you're seeing rainbows every time, a lot of times that's the wisdom of the other side telling you, Here's your message. Here's your answer. And people will text me all the time. "Oh, I seen a rainbow. I got 4 feathers. I got this." And I'm like, yeah, and you know where that came from. If they're they're sending you flyers saying, look at that. And you're like, oh, oh, maybe that's what they're trying to say.
Quick change of subject, guys. We do have a color for this show. If you just step back in your mind, relax for a second, ask for some protection, and say, what's the color? Put it in. If you get it right, we send you a free ticket to the Atlantic City show, which is a week from Saturday. Even if you're in Texas, guys, just go ahead and do it because you can always gift it to somebody closer if you can't make it up yourself.
Margaret's already saying pink.
Very nice. Melissa has green up. And let's see, Facebook, nobody yet. Yeah, what's the matter with you guys? Don't you like to play? No. So just keeping it out there. We'll definitely say who won by the end of the show, but this gives everybody a chance to really get in there. Where do you see the pink? I see Melissa's green.
And the Q&A.
Oh, okay. I was
Hello?
looking at Q&A. Well, Q&A's questions. I'm sorry. Thank you. And answers, questions and answers. Thank you, Margaret.
Nora's a little tired tonight. Can we tell?
I spent the whole day in a class since 9 o'clock this morning. So
Her brain's a little gone.
Tina's going with green and Melissa. So we got a few colors going. Anybody over at Facebook, feel free to jump in. So Chris is I wanted to ask you more about Saint Michael because he has his 2 colors. Some of them have 2 colors. Some have like the rainbow. He's got a whole bunch of them, but it seems like only 2 angels have 1 color, and that's Metatron, which is the great I am, and Raphael. Is that correct?
Well, Raphael has a few colors, but his prominent color is green because he's a healer. But he's a healer of the heart, body, mind, soul, and spirit. So he could be green with pink. He could be green with white. It depends what he's healing at that time.
Oh,
He doesn't just heal the physical body. He's got the power to heal it all.
Right.
The past lives, the current lives.
Is it the color of the disturbance that would be present that he's getting rid of, or?
Well, it could be if it's a love problem or something that you're holding on to that was love, but it turned gray. He'll bring in more love to help you release it.
Nice.
But I'll always primarily bring in green. And when we're doing healing seminars, a lot of people will see green blankets. We use them and we pray over the blankets and we pray St. Gabriel's prayer. And we and St. Raphael's, because we want the message to go to God and we want Raphael's healings to go with God. And so we bring in both of the prayers and the Our Father and we heal over the blankets. And a lot of cancer patients that I've worked with, a lot of people with like all different autoimmune diseases have been helped by it. People that were told they were terminal, go home and die, lived for 5 years, including my husband. My sister's like, what the hell are you doing to him? I'm like, don't worry about it. I got this. And the doctors are like, he's supposed to be dead like 6 years ago. I'm like, man plans and God laughs. So don't worry about it. I got this. They're like, okay. And it was funny because he lived with the cancer that was supposedly inoperable and untreatable. As soon as they started giving him the chemo is when he died.
Oh my God.
And he wouldn't listen to me. I kept saying to him, no chemo. He goes, but they got better stuff now. I'm like, no chemo. He's like, okay, hon, but I'm going to try it. I'm like, okay, whatever. So it does help. And we had a young lady, well, an older woman, that was a very close friend of mine that was sick for many years. I think like 3 or 4 years with cancer. and she was running strong until the last 6 months. And we would take her everywhere we wanted to go. Lilydale, we took her for a week up there. We literally door to door transport. We got nice comfy chairs for her. We covered her in a little green blanket. If she thought she wasn't ready to go out that day, we put her in bed. We got her some food, set her all up. But for the most part, she said she didn't have any problems that whole 10 days we were gone. And she went like a little trooper. So can it heal? Yeah. But a big part of it is your soul and your spirit have to be open to it.
Tina has a question, and I love it because I've never heard this before. When my brother was young, every time it rained, he saw raindrops as purple. What does that mean?
Oh, well, that's really a
I
blessing
think
from
that's
above.
beautiful. Yeah.
And a lot of that purple rain is coming directly from God. And it's trying to tell you that your questions have been heard, your response is on its way, and that your third eye will be open so that you'll be able to see what's coming. And it just, for somebody that young, it's just to let them know that they have been heard. For most times, they don't think anybody's listening and they start to lose faith in the spirit world. And when they actually, I was talking to one of the pediatric nurses from CHOP the other day, and she told me a lot of the same stories about how she felt and how many things they had seen. And one of my sisters had talked to another set of nurses from CHOP over in Philadelphia um, just recently, like as of last week or something, and they were having visions of angels in the room, big winged beings, or just glowing lights, and they would show up in different colors. And that's pretty much what the other nurses were telling me. They're like, on the QT, because we know you know this stuff. Can you fix our floor? It's a little haunted. I'm like, what do you mean it's a little haunted? They're like, come up to the floor and you'll know. And I'm like, I don't have time to run up to your floor. And they're like, yeah, you got to make time, Chris. Weird stuff's happening. I'm like, all right. And I went over to their floor and I'm like, yeah, And they're like, what are you seeing? I'm like, you know what I'm seeing. I said, how could you not see it? They're like, what is it? I said, it's angel everywhere. You got them like at every doorway, every corner. I said, where's the chapel? Not on this floor. I'm like, well, you ought to just put one on there. Take one of the rooms out, make it into a chapel. That way you won't be tripping over them every 5 feet. They're like, the kids tell us really weird stories. I'm like, I would believe them. And a lot of them, as I was talking to my sister earlier, and she said to me, a lot of them are from different countries. They don't even have Christian beliefs. So they don't know what these big glowing wing things are that show up that make them feel comfortable.
That's
So
beautiful, though.
it's their way of,
Confident.
it's definitely their way of making sure that the child feels comforted and knows that there's healing available for him.
Yeah, I like what
It's
Tina said. His third eye is definitely open as an adult. I have to tell you, Tina, the first thing I thought was Prince. Purple rain. Okay, that was a song popular when I was in college. Take me back to my youth. Blue, Carolina has blue up there. And yes, Linda, I saw your orange. Keep going, guys. This is cool. We will get
so
my colors.
Tina, he will always have his third eye open as long as he chooses to have it open. It was open when he was a little boy, when he would before he saw the purple rain. The angels just let him see that, just so he'd have comfort.
And I'm hearing that there's a lot of stuff that he sees that he thinks everybody sees. Even as an adult, he doesn't realize not everybody sees what he
Right.
sees.
And he tries not to say anything because he doesn't want you all to think he's weird.
Yeah, there's a good understanding there.
And me, on the other hand, I just blurt it all out. And even
She does.
sometimes Nora looks at me
No
and goes,
filter, zero filter,
Nora
zero.
goes, shh, you
Chris,
sound a little cuckoo.
no, Chris, they didn't ask you to just blurt that out. She just thought like it was okay to tell everybody whatever was going on in their life, even if they didn't ask.
I'm working on it.
No, you're doing great now. You're doing great. I love you. I wouldn't change a thing about you. Not a thing. You are perfect in
See,
every
I'm
way.
trying.
Yep. Okay. So Melissa says, okay, great. That is so true. Thank you, Tina. Melissa, every time I journey, I see angels in pink and purple. They are so beautiful. Oh, good. So you're talking about celestial traveling, not traveling on an airplane. That's nice because then they're with you. You know, you have the protection. I'm just going to throw out here, guys, intuitive footprint. They can be beautiful. Angels can be beautiful, but not necessarily God's angels of good. The
Right.
dark angels, Lucifer, angel of light, they can appear stunning. You must use the intuitive footprint. You must pay attention to what kind of energy is emanating from them.
And
Angels,
if your gut says run, don't stop.
run.
Don't stop to think about it. Say Jesus, Jesus, Jesus reverently as you're booking the opposite direction.
Exactly. Exactly. I mean, you can rely on your gut. Better to rely on intuitive footprint because your gut
Hmm.
can be tricked too. You know, there's some of us who are not happy we always follow our gut. um, I wanted to bring up Michael's colors, red and gold. What can you tell us? Why, why are those his colors?
Um, St. Michael's red as a warrior. He's always been designated as red.
Mm,
Gold because he is God's warrior. And he has the power and the might that God has given him. And he is the fiercest warrior of all the angels. And
mm,
he sits at the right hand of God. And a lot of people get St. Michael confused with Jesus and God. Two different energies just because they're so closely linked. And St. Michael's the only archangel that I personally know about that can be in more than one place at one time.
I
I
thought you
don't know
were.
if all of them can do that,
Oh, I
but I
would
know
think
that
you
St.
did
Michael
though.
can.
Yeah. It's interesting you said that because there are different Christians that believe Saint Michael isn't really a separate entity. He's just another way that Christ shows himself.
Right.
I'm like, okay, well, we're not going to have a debate. You have your belief, I have mine. Yay.
Well,
Carolina.
St. Michael says when I've asked him about that in the past, he's told me no, but our energies get confused because we're so in sync with each other.
Mm,
Because he takes direction directly from God. It's not like there's very much space. Like
beautiful.
he knows God and God knows him pretty well. So it's almost like they're so close that their energy gets confusing to some people.
All right. Carolina says, I've been going through a tough time. My relationship is hanging on by a thread. And at the same time, I'm trying to get my business off the ground. What colors or angels should I call on to lend me strength at this time? Well, I would go with the Zeph Zapkiel for the understanding, because understanding will serve you in understanding what to do with your business and understanding in a relationship.
Yeah, but I would also
But
call in Zedekiel,
mm-hmm.
who is the knowledge angel. And they have business angels. And I would just ask for a pump start of business angels to surround you.
Actually, that's really interesting, Carolina, because that's what Chris has encouraged me to do. She's like, Nora, for crying out loud, just call in the computer angels. Well, will you just call in help? Just say, I need some direction with the creativity of XYZ. And I'm like, so I just want to hit myself sometimes because, like, duh, of course, all you should do is ask. But Chris says to ask the angels, and I'm finding it unbelievably powerful and useful. I really am. So, yeah, I like what Chris is saying a lot.
They're
I'm
very
sure.
helpful. They will help anybody who comes with a true heart. If you come with an ulterior motive, it doesn't usually work. I'll tell you that straight up. When people come and they think one thing and they think, oh, they won't know, they do know. They'll just let you believe that they don't know. And it's kind of like them laughing at you, going, oh, okay, let's see how fast she figures out that's not going to work. And people ask me, well, why didn't it work? I'm like, well, what was your secondary agenda? Well, how do you know I have one of them?
Because it
Like,
didn't work.
because it didn't work and they know it. And they're over there laughing at you. So I'm telling you that they knew ahead of time. And people get a little upset with me.
And what I say, Carolina, especially Carolina, when it comes to business, look, angels, God, Father, you know I'm in business to make money. I want to make a living. I want to be comfortable. I want to have um, nice things and not worry about retirement. You know that, but I also want to really do this. This is my calling and this is what I love. So I give, like, really, this is what I want to be doing, teaching the intuitive footprint, getting it out there, making a difference for people so they can safely use their intuition. But I mean, if I didn't admit to the fact that, yes, I'd like to make a living comfortably, I don't want to, just squeak by. I'm being honest. I'm not lying about it. I'm not kidding myself and think I'm kidding them. Just be open. Don't be afraid to say it. And now, as far as the relationship goes, uh, there just seems to be a real. Um,
There's a
seeing a
difference of
break.
opinion there.
I'm seeing a break in this relationship. I actually see a possibility of it healing after, but it could also not heal after. Um,
Because the difference is a big one.
yeah,
It's a fundamental difference. And he
which I
doesn't want to hear you.
and this is where Gabriel would be a great angel to ask for guidance because he is the foundation. He's about bonding, um, and given that the messenger angel can help you with how to message what it is you're trying to communicate with each other. I mean, that's who I would turn to if I was, I mean, I always turn to Christ, guys. First and foremost, it's Christ. But I ask the angels to carry my message to Christ. They're there to assist us. I do not vibrate at a level high enough to speak directly to Christ. So he gave us angels. Angels are willing to go back and forth with this. And this is why Padre Pio always said, send me your guardian angel. Use your angels. They vibrate at that level. They'll get the message there for you. So I hope that helps, honey. I really hope
And
so.
Uriel and Ariel will help you as well. They are very much in tune with your heart and how to help you reach your highest good, spiritually and emotionally. So call upon them. They're archangels as well. Now, Tina put something up on the chat. We just came back from vacation. We all heard the door slam 3 times. One night I was up most of the night hearing footsteps going up and down the stairs and hearing little footsteps in the kitchen. No, no one those sounds except me. No one heard those
What the
sounds
sounds
except me.
except me.
It did not seem evil to me, but it scared me. Well, it was just spirits that live there.
Yeah, it's
I don't
not.
feel like they're harmful.
I
But
feel they're almost childlike.
mm-hmm.
They're young children kind of spirits. So you pray them over. Tina, when you hear and you sense a spirit, it's a lot of times because they know you can, they go out of their way to make sure you hear them so that you can
Because they
help,
want help.
right? And you help them by saying a prayer and asking for an angel to come and help cross them over and bring them to the other side.
Bring them light and mercy, whatever it
Yeah.
is they need. Because
I
a
just
lot of times they're stuck because they don't think they're worthy to cross over.
or fear, especially if you were Catholic. Whoa, the fear can be really fierce with some of them because they think they're going to hell because they, masturbated. And these are spirits that are dead for maybe 100 years or something, where that was definitely a deadly sin. And they're petrified. They're afraid if they go over, they're going to be punished for some of the silliest things in the world. Because for years, God was taught to be, heavy handed, not merciful. Even though Christ came as mercy, it wasn't taught that way. Yeah. I just have to say, this is great. Dave says, sorry for being late, having dinner in Bar Harbor, Maine. Oh,
Oh,
enjoy
I'm
that lobster,
so
baby.
sorry for
Bar
you.
Harbor, Maine. I haven't been there since I was a child. It was
Oh,
beautiful.
yeah. Now he'll torture us and send us one of those pictures of a lobster tail this big.
You enjoy that, Dave. Good for you. Um, so we have only about 15 minutes left to the show. So I just want to one more time remind you guys there is a color that has been written down. Throw a color into the feed, either the chat or the Facebook side. Whoever gets the color correct, if more than one person gets it correct, we'll pull some names.
Tell Dave to answer that
Yeah,
question.
Dave, what is tonight's color? Um, if more than one person gets it, we might actually be generous and give it to both of you, but we'll see. Um, instead of having to pull a name. So far we've been giving green, orange, blue, and green from Dave.
And pink.
And I think there was another pink. Pink was another one that was given. Oh, I'm going to tell you all you're wrong.
And
So to give you one more
Aaron's seeing
chance.
purple.
I hate to tell you guys, you're not getting it tonight. Now knock it off. Clear your minds. Everybody clear your mind. Take a second. Just breathe in some nice light. Ask for protection. Step back into that relaxed place and ask simply, what is the color? And boom, go with the first thing that just came to your mind and put it down. All right. That's the last time I'm going to have coach you through this, people. So if you guessed the color, do it again, because none of those. Oh, Melissa put down yellow. All right, we're switching up. Good job. Let's see what else goes on. We got another yellow. But anyway, the show itself is starting to sell out. We are having a great time. We have the girls from, oh my gosh, that great radio show that I put on our station sometimes. What the hell's Sue's show called? I got to look it up now. We those girls are going to be here from Massachusetts. They're coming in to meet everybody. We have Elena there with all types of crystals and stones and
Necklaces and
yeah.
charms.
And it's Susan from the ATW network. Susan, I'm sorry. It's like I'm telling you, all day in class, I'm a little brain dead. Awaken the Unknown. Their podcasts are really great. I encourage you guys to tap into them on Thursday nights. They're actually going to be at the show also. And who else was coming along? Elena, these ladies, and of course us. We're going to read the room. We'll get everybody read who's there. And if by any chance we don't get everybody read, we will privately make sure you get that reading. So you are insured. And the other really cute thing is you come a little bit early and you'll get yourself free admission into the aquarium, because our tickets cover the aquarium. And it's such a cute little place. It really is adorable. Let's see what else is going on. Dag nabbit, this isn't fair. I was supposed to be there. Yes. Erin was the first person to buy a ticket. And then she broke her knee.
You wanted a vacation. God gave you one.
Yeah, right. Okay, let's see what else is going on. Let me check on Facebook side. I kind of lost my page over there. Feel free to throw in any questions on the Facebook side. Chris and I were talking. We might just strictly do Facebook side from now on. We haven't definitely said so, just because this ping-ponging back and forth is driving me crazy. Alrighty, let's see. Yeah, she wanted to go to the beach. I don't blame you. Hello, girlfriends. Diane, we missed you. We haven't seen you in so long. Oh, Rebecca, thank you. I just saw Awakening the Unknown. You threw it on that side. Gina, she says black, and we do have David Cielo. You guys are getting there. All right. This is funny. I wanted, oh, yeah. Linda's gray. Aaron, we really wanted you to be there. That would have been lovely. So I just want to ask a few more questions from Chris because I love how much Chris understands the colors. I have a basic understanding, but her input is amazing, which is why I've been asking so many questions and not really participating in the knowledge end because she has more. So, Hanel, victory and fortitude was blue, gold, and bronze. Is the bronze like the armor for the fortitude? Is that why there's bronze in there? So, what would be the purpose of like, so if you're praying to Hanel for fortitude, for like Carolina to have fortitude, to be strong in this relationship as she's moving through the difficult times, would you recommend she actually like feel the color bronze, or just if she sees bronze, knows that she got an answer from that angel? Like, how do the colors work into that?
How do they resonate back?
Yes.
Okay. A lot of times the archangels will send you something that represents them. Like if Hanel's idea is a shield. Like if you look it up and on the web, he says he has a shield and he has like a chest armor. You might start seeing chest armor or shirts that have like build outs in the chest. And you just see them on people or on things, and it'll be like, wow, that's just a little too weird. And that might be Hanel. If you see a lot of red and you might feel like very protective red, that's St. Michael. If you feel like you're seeing a lot of green with mixture of other colors, that's probably Raphael, Archangel Raphael. They're going to give you things that you'll resonate with however you see it, not necessarily how they're seen by the public, but however you see them. Because I've been with St. Michael since I was a little girl, maybe 4, maybe 3. So when I see St. Michael, I don't see him as the big warrior angel. I've looked out my window and I could see him as big as one of the Philadelphia stadiums a couple times. And I'm like, better start praying really fast, really hard, because something bad's going to go down. I'm like, St. Michael, what's wrong? He's like, you just keep praying. I'm like, okay. But I see him as soft and loving, whereas everybody else might say, no, he's big and he's fierce, but not to me, because that's how I see him as my friend. So I don't always see him as big as the stadium. I know if he's that big, he's really upset. And he's glowing and pulsating red, I know the shit's about ready to get real. And I'm just like crawling under a table somewhere and praying really hard that, whatever it does, he can handle it, because it's going to be bad. So think about what those angels resonate to you and how do you see them? How do you see their main feature? And get to know them, talk to them, ask them about themselves, ask them what you can do to help them, to help you better. A lot of people just ask them for help, but they don't ask them, how can I help you to help me better? And they'll tell you, they'll explain to you what prayers you need to say. It'll just come as a thought to your brain, and you'll be like, oh, maybe I should go Google that prayer. Maybe I should go find that. I keep feeling like I need to go say that prayer. And they're just gently pushing you, and they're not going to force you to do anything. They're just going to give you a gentle nudge. And if you follow that nudge, you'll find that you're finding a whole new realm of understanding. Like when Nora needed help and she didn't know where to go, I'm like, they're telling me to tell you this, and you can take it or you can leave it. She's like, but God, I should just go to God. I'm like, he's a busy man. Take it from somebody who knows. He's really busy.
It's true.
Ask one of his bazillion messengers.
And here, I love Padre Pio. I read so many of his books, and I have a relationship with my guardian angel, but it was different once Chris started coaching me. Yeah, believe it or not, we coach each other, and we even get coaching from other people. Even though we provide coaching, we provide teaching, we provide instruction, but anybody who's a top athlete has a coach. No matter how good they are, they have a coach. So yeah, I turned to Chris and I'm like, how can I hear the angels better, because I'm not tuned in the way I was when I was younger. And it was a long story, absolutely funny story, but Chris cleared my ears once, and for 3 days, I all I did was hear things. I'm like, oh my god, now I know why Chris sounds like she's crazy. But I never got it back, and it was through her coaching. So if you were really interested in learning great techniques and ways of appreciating the angels and working with them, so that they can help you and you help them. When Chris was saying help them to help you, you also help them for whatever it is they need. So it's like, I'm
Mhm.
just going to say these prayers. So for whatever service, whatever it's going to serve, let it go to that. So those good intentions are moving that way. But I would recommend Chris as a coach. Of course, I'd recommend me as a coach. But when it comes to angels, I would definitely recommend Chris for some coaching if that's what you're interested in, without a doubt.
And Nora helps on her own level with moving through emotional blocks. Like the angels couldn't get me to understand something, and Nora's like, "I don't know. Can you guys give me another way to explain it? She's really not getting it." Well, why do you think we sent her to you? Because she's not getting us either.
Yeah, so we had to break it down the old-fashioned way and get in there.
And I'm just like,
The
huh?
emotions do block a lot of stuff. Thank you, Chris. I appreciate that. Erin is asking, what is my color? I don't know if I would say a person has a color per se. Like, you have a life color. You do come in with a life color. Um, and I mean, I got a color that I believe is her life color, turquoise. Um,
She's supposed to speak the truth,
so,
and she's fulfilling her journey, so that can change. When you fulfilled one journey color, they split off because you're ascending. So they're going to give you another color.
oh,
And
that's
you
interesting.
and you may find that your colors are changing kind of. Sometimes they get like rapid fire. You went from this color and you feel like, "Oh, now I don't like that color anymore. I want to go to all this color." And
Mm.
then people are like, "I don't like that color anymore. I want to go to this color." And their husbands are like, "Yeah, they just want to go shopping again."
Okay, we only have a few more minutes. So, guys, get those intuitive hits in there. I can't believe this, but people, nobody got the color. I'm going to show you what I wrote in the corner of the paper so you all know I'm not making pretend. But I mean, I already gave 2 shots to do it. Should we give them one more shot and just say, go for it one more time? No,
No,
all
they're not
right,
going
that's
to.
it.
Don't torture them.
Right here, guys. Can you see that?
Ha! That was the color I picked.
And
Do
I
I get
kept
to come for
I kept
free?
saying, I really want to talk about St. Michael's colors. Like, I was like, I think I said that 3 times. But some of you got it by putting gold, but no, it was red. Um, anyhow, there are still tickets available. The show is a week from Saturday in Atlantic City, September 22nd from 1 to 4. It is the New Atlantic City Aquarium, so please come early to enjoy the aquarium, because your admission to our show gives you admission to the aquarium. But our show ends a half an hour before the aquarium closes, so you're not really going to get to see it. If you want to see the fish, get there early. It is worth it. It is really adorable. Um, oh, somebody threw something in a question, and we got 2 minutes, so let's grab it. Marguerite, that was last week's color. Laugh out loud. I thought of that. You know what? After it came to me, I just said what color, and I put it down. So I think that was last week's color. I said, good. This will teach them to tap into their intuition and not just their logic. And if, logic and intuition work hand in hand. A lot of times we get an intuitive insight and we reason away that, oh, well, that's just logic because of yeah, it was logic, but it was intuitively given to you. Intuition is the glove, logic is the hand. You don't want your hand cold. So you and the glove is useless without the hand. They need to work together.
Yes, we
So,
are definitely testing your psychic abilities.
oh yeah, we
We're
don't play
making
games.
you work for it.
All right, so you're going to have one more shot next week before it's all over, because next week will be the show. Thank you guys for joining us. Thank you guys for joining me on the meditations too. I really do enjoy them. We are going to continue doing colors this week. So for Thursday and Friday, if there's a color you would like, make sure you message me before 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. Anything else, Chris?
Nope, I'm good.
All right, everybody. Have a blessed week and a day. And thank you so much for joining us. Bye now.
Thank you all. Bye-bye.